Welcome back to the Reggies. Three blokes who could have been anything decided to have fun instead. Bit of a different vibe this week. The Reggies is now brought to you by Better Beer and Blue Bet.
Oh, yeah.
Two proud sponsors of the show. Hey, we can't thank them enough for their support.
Yep.
And they are going to feature throughout the show from here on in.
Absolutely.
They sure are.
Big shout out to all the Reggies as well, giving us a crack out there. We fucking love it. Keep on sending us in the stories and sledges. They make me weak, honestly. They're that good. Groper's the one replying, by the way. That is who's replying. Me.
Groper also speaks in third person.
Hey. So what? People listening on Spotify, they might not be able to pick our voices.
Exactly, mate.
Anyway.
That's right.
So, yeah. No, give us a like or follow, whatever platform you're listening on. Your support has enabled us to get us a couple of sponsors, hasn't it?
Exactly.
Sure has.
Yeah. Another massive week in sport, both the AFL, NRL. We ended up taking the ODI series in the cricket in India, which was massive. That
Beautiful.
was last, Thursday, I think. The F1 Australian Grand Prix is this weekend down in classy Melbourne there.
Classic karaoke bar.
So that's huge down there. I mean, I watch a little bit of F1,
Yep.
but I think going down there for the weekend would just be unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. It'd be fucking massive.
So, yeah, that's always huge down there. We got day one of the championships at Royal Randwick this weekend, which was fantastic because there's shitloads of good horses going around for us to lift on the punt. 'Cause
Fucking oath.
We need it.
Big
It's
races.
been shocking. We need a lift.
Do you know what
We
I'm
do.
glad with the whole thing, though? I'd rather be winning, but the fact that we told everyone at the start we are Reggie punters. So,
Yeah.
like, we come steaming in going, we are the fucking best punters ever.
Well, we would have been phonies.
Yeah,
Frauds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, we've lived up to what we said.
Anyway, we're going to go good this week, I reckon. I've got a feeling.
Yeah, hopefully that's coming up later on. We've got some red hot tips,
Oh,
hopefully.
some Jace hot tips.
Look, we lost the semi on the weekend, boys, in the cricket. Boyne Island Tannum Sands will not be featuring in the final this weekend. Before I start on that, there was a young fella named Caden that plays for the Glen. He went down with a savage case of heat stroke and dehydration on Sunday. He's a gun little left arm seamer. I was actually giving him props on the weekend because he got me out earlier in the year with a unreal delivery, like a Mitch Stark-esque in swinging.
Oh, so he's got a bit of shit in him?
Left arm in swinging ball, clean bowled me, man. I didn't even play a
Fucking
bad
hell.
shot. So, we had ambulance out there and everything to stabilise him. The game stopped, obviously.
Yeah.
But we got the news that day that he was out of hospital that night and recovering at home. So shout out for him for going that hard for your fucking team that he went down with heat stroke.
Fucking oath.
Now, we lost by 2 runs.
Oh, no.
We bowled first and bowled shithouse. We let him get way too many. We were looking good in the chase. We were 1 for 72, I think. I was batting with Richo, who's one of my good mates, and we had not batted together all year just because he's on shift and I was getting out too quick and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And anyway, I've received the crookest LBW decision I've ever got in my whole history of playing cricket.
Really?
Poor old Tomo. He's an old retired fella from down at Bits, and he turns up every year to umpire the games at our home ground because he doesn't travel to town to umpire. He only umpires at Tannum. Yeah, it's awesome. I love he does it because it means we don't have to umpire ourselves.
Yeah,
Because then it just means it just creates drama when you're umpiring and it's your team batting and there's a big LBW shouting. But the only issue is he can't see or hear.
That is a big issue.
He struggles to walk sometimes, it's an unreal effort from him. But anyway, I've middled one onto my pad. I have creamed this thing onto my pad, and he's just trigger fingered me straight up. He's giving me LB, and I was fuming. I was annoyed at that, but I was more fuming because one of their blokes gave me a massive send off, like a fuck off send off, and he's flicked his arm like fuck off, and I just. Oh, man, I got into the shed and I was so pissed because he's done it just because I'm chirpy, out on the field.
Lippy.
Part of the game, I am lippy, and I'm the first one to admit it, but I don't ever give send-offs, and we spoke about this. Once you're out, I've beaten you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right.
So for a wicket keeper of all blokes, doesn't bowl ever, to give me a fuck off send off, you're a flog, mate.
Yeah.
Especially being
no
an
names.
LBW as
like,
well.
I'll accept you want to give send offs, whatever. But
Yeah.
don't fucking give me a swearing type of send off like a fuck off when you knew I wasn't out. That was the biggest thing. Everyone in the whole fucking world knew that I wasn't out, and he's giving me a fuck off.
And he had nothing to do with that wicket either.
Nah.
Now,
He's
could we
just
argue
sitting there
that that's
chirping.
probably a great Sledge and he's won?
Nah.
Mate, I don't know. Like, I just...
Nah.
Fuck
Nah,
you.
and- nah,
No,
like I said,
I'm with you. I'm
well,
on your team.
If you're going to give send offs, that's fine.
Mm.
That's fine. As a wicket keeper and you're giving them whatever, you're a bit of a flog. But anyway, but if you're going to give me a fuck off and you knew I've middled it onto me pad, then yeah, whatever.
So where do they go with Tomo? Like, does he get to a point where they just stop him from umpiring, or does he always go? Because to me, it's like giving a blind bloke a 17-year-old dog. Just going,
Yeah,
good
I
luck,
don't
brother. It used to be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, we all think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to keep him
But every
involved.
week we get a shit decision and we go, fucking Tomo.
Yeah, good stuff.
Nah, so anyway, we didn't have our little end of season Mad Monday thing because we're going to do it this weekend.
Yep.
The boys want to
Nice.
go to the final and watch it. And I said, that is a terrible idea because we are going to get blind and make dickheads of ourselves.
We'll have
anyway.
to hold you back from the wicket keeper.
Oh,
You'll be just spraying him.
Yeah.
nah, the fact that 3 or 4 of their players come up and said, mate, one of them even was, this is a quote, he said, mate, that's fucked. That should never happen.
Yeah.
And then he just
Like
fuck offs me.
it's like say two very obvious sounds a fair while apart.
And it deviated off my back. Like,
Oh no!
anyway, good on you, Tomo. Thank
On
you.
you, Tomo.
Wait, the best bit was he just come up like it. That was the last over before drinks, and I'm in there, steam coming out my ears, and he just comes up and goes, "Unlucky, mate." Like, and then tries to tell me what shot I should have played
Just rubbing
did he
salt
really?
into the
because I
wounds.
was playing a shit shot. Like trying to flick it onto the onside instead of playing with a straight bat. He comes and tells me what shot I should
That
have
would've made
played.
Should have
you
said,
even
Tomo, I
happier.
nearly fucking middled it.
I just went, Tomo, I can't. I just walked off. And I went, is this cunt serious?
So he's triggered you off a thick edge and then tried to tell you what
Yeah.
shot you should have
Because
played.
he can't hear, he can't see it. Anyway,
Good umpire
we
material.
will move on. That was sort of my weekend.
Yeah.
I moved on kind of quick, but then as I explained it to you just now, I've gotten fucking angry again.
The
so.
blood is boiling.
It's
I've
a
got,
passion, mate. It's a passion.
I've got a story from a Reggie listener.
Ooh, I
And
love
we do
these.
love
Hear
these.
it.
I love
Fucking
them.
oath.
Now, it's only one this week, but it's a goodie, and it's not a goodie in the way of drinking beer from a cricket box. It's a bit of a heartwarming one, boys, and it shows us that we're having a bit of an impact out there. So it's from Riley Blunt, female listener, and I'll just straight up quote it. You're probably wondering why a girl like me is messaging podcasts like you. You see, I've come across you through my boyfriend, who ironically doesn't have Facebook. After listening to the first episode together, we decided to join the tipping comp. Think I may have pulled off one of the reggiest acts out there. I've jagged the Joker in the right round and moved from 453 all the way up to 13th on the ladder.
Wow.
Now, a girl like me, you might think isn't much of a Reggie. However, I come from a long line of Reggies in both name and spirit. To make the story short, my grandfather's name was Reginald, more commonly known as Reggie, and my dad's nickname is also Reggie.
Stop.
We aren't much footy tippers, however, we do like to have a punt on a Saturday. Sometimes even a sneaky midweek punt. Whilst my dad and pop would study the form and listen to the scratchings on a Saturday morning, I follow a little bit more in my mum's footsteps and chuck a few dollars on whatever name tickles me fancy. Lastly, I just want to say a big congrats on how everything has gone for you so far, and thank you for what you're doing. I've also attached a photo of me pop, Reggie, when he was in his younger years, and a photo of him and I not long before he passed.
Oh, how good's
So-
that?
That's awesome to hear.
I
In the
opened
blood.
that up and I just thought that was awesome. So
Fucking oath.
Shout out to you. That's good stuff.
Riley's loving it. And I told her that I'd be playing this week. So there you go, Riley. Thanks
Great
for
to hear.
supporting us.
Yeah, thank you very
And
much.
long live the Reggie name in your family.
Fucking oath.
Fucking oath.
And I am going to give you a little bit of a little... You know how last week, Tom, you said if you're leading any tipping comps, you know nothing about footy. Well, Riley's just proven it right there. She said, where does it say here? We're not much of footy tippers. And she's gone and got 8 from 8 and Jake the Joker.
Mate, you would have had a better shot this year, dead set looking at the animals and seeing which one would win in a fight. I'm not saying I'm the fucking rugby league lord, but like I've watched it for a few years now and I'm fucking hopeless at the moment.
What's a dolphin beating, though?
Oh, it depends
Not a
if you're in the
bronco.
water, pretty much everything,
Yeah, true.
except a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they haven't played him yet.
That's right. But yeah, dolphin will beat the fuck out of most things in the water.
Not a Bronco, mate. Not a Bronco.
Righto, good on you, Riley. Keep sending that shit in. That's
We love it.
awesome. We love that.
Fucking oath.
Righto, we're building a club, boys. It's called the Reggies Rugby League Club, the RRLC. Now, our picks for this week. We threw it up. We got a bit of feedback. And we want to pick a hooker and we want to pick a lock this week.
Strengthen up the middle.
We want to just firm the middle of the park up.
Yeah, that's
Couple
right.
of blokes to lead them around.
These blokes are going to play 80 because our pigs are going to need to have a rest.
Yeah. We're looking at a 4-prop bench.
No utility.
These blokes are playing 80.
Yeah.
And I think we've come up with a couple of really, really good selections here. I've got at 13. This bloke played 107 test matches for Australia. Only 14 people have ever played 100 test matches for Australia, by the way. He has a pristine keg hanging off the front of him and a glorious mustache. His name is David Boone. Look, I doubt he did much training, especially cardio training, and he was still, one of our greatest ever. So I reckon one of the most important facts about him is an old wives' tale of him allegedly drinking 52 cans of beer on a flight from Sydney to London in 1989 on their way to the Ashes, which at a point in time they were up 4-0 on that tour. So,
Can I just say that I reckon that stat alone got him a starting spot?
yeah, I
Like-
think it did.
It's hard to go past a bloke that's got that on his stat sheet.
Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly.
that's the thing. It's not on his stat sheet because Booney has never confirmed it, but several teammates have.
It's on the stat sheet.
He was a great mentor to our 5'8", Shane Warne. I think as Warney was coming in, guys like Boone, Merv Hughes, he could easily fucking slot into the side, by
Yeah.
the way. Guys like him paved the way for Warney to be the greatest cricketer ever. So
Agreed.
he just fucking reeks Reggie.
Oh, he
Fuck
does.
I had
just-
Booney as my pick as well, so
I reckon
agree with you there.
Booney rubs deep heat under his armpits every morning.
And he's just perfect to play 13.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
little nuggety bloke up the guts.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trucking seed.
and tackling.
No
He would just-
sideways movements.
Fucking tackle his hole out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Dallas Johnson had a few like pies and beers, he could have been a Booney.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
I think before we head on to the hooker role, because a very popular name that was getting thrown around the RRLC group was none other than Andrew Roy Simons. Now, I'm fucking offended here because I expected more out of you, mob. Roy is 100% getting a spot in this team. Roy is a legend. But if you think we are putting a bloke with one of the silkiest hands in all sports that can, like, he's mobile, he's a long, lanky bloke, he's athletic, he'd be able to run a line, he can obviously fucking put a shot on. A bloke running the other way, cutting an unders line on him. If you think we're putting him in the guts with the fucking pigs running straight up and down, you've lost your fucking marbles.
I agree.
So I was off that, but now
Yeah.
you know. And just know that Roy will be there, but he will be a vital part of a bit of skill out wide.
Fucking oath. He'd be an edge player for sure.
That's right. We're not putting him there with these blokes just trucking seed in the middle.
one of the greatest fielders to ever play.
Well, that's what I mean. Like this bloke,
Australia.
the skills that he showed, with the ball in hand in the field, I think just is enough to go, right, we need him as a bit of a weapon out wide, So that's where he'll feature in the side. It is good to see people want him there, though. Like, that was a good part. I'm just like, come on, boys. As if we're putting, like, the 13 in the Reggies of all time side is just another front rower.
Basically.
Yeah.
And
that is what Boone is going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's
For
Roy's
80.
more versatile, I reckon. You play him in different positions. Booney, you look at him, you're like, mate, you're going straight in the fucking middle.
That's right. Exactly. But,
Righto. So that's just a little taste of what's to come, I think.
Yeah,
Another little sneak
Roy's a
peek.
good sniff.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of good sniffs. Now we're going to pick a 9.
We are.
Our hooker.
I think this was very highly requested as well, and we're on the same page. We're going with Piggy Riddell.
Yeah. That it sort of picked itself, didn't it?
Exactly.
And the best part about it is as well, we need a goal kicker. And to watch the pig on the sideline pointing, just chanting, go over.
It's
Go over.
iconic.
Yeah.
That is unreal.
I think I've said that another one like the People's Immortal Scott Minto we just had to have.
Yeah,
Like-
we did.
The whole crowd with their arm up
Fucking
as
hell.
he was doing it.
Exactly. It's just good stuff. That's the sort of stuff you want in the pig pen.
You can't have an NRL standard of player with the nickname Piggy
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not make the RRLC
Yeah,
team.
Exactly. And possibly owner of one of the best, my favourite try celebrations has been.
Yeah.
When he scored the try, jumped the fence, sat in the seat, and
Oh,
applauded
yeah,
himself.
that was fun.
That
awesome.
That was
mate.
very good.
Fucking
So,
great.
I think that's a couple of good additions, boys, and a
Definitely.
bit of a sniff on what's to come as well.
Yeah.
The team is fucking building nicely.
We've had a couple of good sniffs lately.
Mm.
Joey was in there. Now, there's been a video sent in to me about 45 fucking times weekly.
Yeah.
We posted it yesterday, and it's of Kyle the Bald Eagle Sequera. I think I've said that right. I put it out, so I got this video so many times that I said to all the people sending it in, I was like, oi, can you get some info on this bloke? Because he looks fucking terrific in that video.
Fucking oath.
So I found out I think he's American.
Is he?
Yeah, so he's plays rugby in America, and he's a fan favourite, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Known for his sensational mullet and aggression on pitch. That someone sent this in, by the way.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was
right.
like a shot of it. He didn't just type it.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So he was a 3-time first team Rugby East All Conference, fucking, I don't know, All American. So he's a bit of an A-grader, but he's definitely not.
He's built like
He
a
slipped
Reggie.
through the
Fucking
cracks.
hell.
Well, I was going to say, it's... I'm very shocked to find that out, because if you look at that image of him,
Yeah.
that's 100% an Aussie, if you're looking at that, aren't you?
That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
I think what gets him back into the Reggie frame is he ended the 2022 season earning the Most Improved award.
Oh,
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah, we hope that he continues to play well
fucking
Yeah.
and
oath.
drink beers and
Keep
whatever
that
they
look
eat
up,
at.
too.
Yeah, he'd have to be up there with one of the hottest Reggies out.
Oh,
Yeah.
the keg with that mullet is
Fucking
just
oath.
unreal.
And the sideburns as well.
Yeah,
Everything
there's-
about it.
He's got it all. He's a
Fucking
complete.
oath.
He's a complete Reggie package.
Exactly right.
Except he's a yank, which takes it down a bit. But I think he's still, like you said.
We'll give him the benefit
You
of
wouldn't
the
even
doubt.
think that, though.
No, you wouldn't.
Nah.
Right. Righto, boys. It's Sledge of the Week time.
Once again.
Now, listen really close to this and try not to laugh at the first Sledge because one is right up its ass and it's
right.
just as funny. Like, you can piss yourself at the end, but I don't want you to ruin it for the recording by laughing. Fuck, this is gold. He sent it in by, like, message, just
Yeah.
typed it, and I said, mate, can you put that in a recording with a bit of context because that is easily winning. And he said, I'll do you one better. Here's a video of me full of Tui's new and a beak full of the devil's dandruff for 80 minutes of D-grade league.
Oh,
80 minutes. Have a go at this.
D grade.
Elchin! Elchin! Have a run, you fucking skirt!
Don't laugh.
Get off the fucking wing, Elchin! Have a real go, Elchin! You don't come back a trailer, Elchin! You fucking old boy sells Avon, mate! Have a real go, Elchin!
Your dad can't back a trailer.
Oh,
That one hits deep.
God.
Holy
Wow.
fuck,
I could have
man.
made it funny that we had to hold in the laugh as well.
Well, I didn't know how long I had to hold it
Yeah,
for.
same.
I thought that was the end of the first
Me
one, and I'm
too.
like stopping for a while. I'm like,
Your old boy sells Avon,
Oh.
and your dad can't back a trailer.
Fucking hell.
Oh, is he saying Elchin or Elchid? I don't know.
I don't
but
know, but
Imagine,
that's fucking
imagine
funny.
copping that for 80.
No, yeah.
Well, one of the downsides of being a winger would be that you are the closest to cunts like that.
Yeah.
The video, he's like behind the post, and he's filming this.
That is great.
That was so good. I just can't believe that no one's ever said, like on a cricket field, imagine just talking to the slips and going, you reckon this bloke can back a trailer? Talking about the batsman.
Oh, that is good though, isn't it?
Surely on your mat Monday or whenever he's watching the grand final, you're just full of piss.
I
You're just
know.
fucking ripping him with some of these sledges.
I know.
Even if you said just exactly that, I don't reckon this dad could back a trailer.
Yeah, just
Like
real,
this cunt's
not
dad.
even talking to him.
Nah.
Because they're the best ones.
Yeah.
When you're talking to the wicket keeper, like you're at first slip,
Yeah.
talking to the wicket keeper, just going, you reckon this bloke can back a trailer?
Yeah, if he's saying, you reckon his dad can? I reckon he's got two mums.
Oh,
That
Righto.
segment is that good.
I
Yeah,
love
it is
that.
great.
It's
Thanks
so
for
good.
bringing that every week.
it's hard to pick a winner, man, but that was never losing.
No, that because of the passion there.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
Screaming at him.
he was
Have
involved.
a real go. Could tell he had about 10 twoies, like he said. Ah,
Good on him.
shall we move into the footy?
Yeah,
You were at the
Absolutely.
game Friday night.
I was at the game Friday night. In
Battle
the
of
old,
Brizzy?
it was great too. It was a fucking very good game. I just think it's a win all round for Queensland Rugby League.
I
to be-
agree.
To be honest, I think it was fucking good. Suncorp, plenty of people there. Exciting game too. You know, like at the end there, that was anyone's game. And Alcatoni getting the runaway try, which was fucking, you know, as much as I was going for the Dolphins to get into the spirit of it, you should have heard the joint when Katoni made that break and scored in the corner and just did the old, this is our home.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
no.
just like the place just went fucking crazy.
It would have
So,
been similar to the Ben Hunt try.
Yeah.
Origin
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Dozer.
No,
I would've
go,
nearly,
Dozer.
I reckon I would have died if I was there with that. 'Cause
Oh,
I would've- where that one I was like, oh, that sucks. It's me multi's gone, but
Yeah.
it didn't really matter.
Well, you were carrying on to us saying, oh, there was a buddy, should have been a goal line dropout.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
ball was on
obviously.
the line.
Yeah, which I think it was, but I mean,
Fuck
it still
off.
doesn't really matter. I think Dolphins were absolutely depleted.
I think
Yeah.
both teams were depleted. That was just a fucking arm wrestle and
Yeah,
little
it
man
was
slip up.
mate. It was a good game.
Yeah,
So,
fucking oath. I reckon, like, to do with, like, being a Broncos fan and the whole rivalry we've had at Cowboys in recent years and the grand final and that, the fucking angst and, like, build up for that game against Dolphins and how it panned out created, like, such a fucking big rivalry that
Yeah.
the NRL was hoping for. Like, I was more passionate watching that game than I would be for any other Queensland team derby.
There's
Yeah.
been a lot of talk about how the Queensland teams, pre-Dolphins, when the Cowboys beat the Broncos in the 2015 grand final, still hurts.
Yeah.
But everyone sort of went, oh, you know, it sucks, but, you know, good on the Cowboys. Whereas the Roosters and the Rabbitohs, that had never, ever happened. They fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
So I
Oldest
think the
rivalry in the game.
Broncos and the Dolphins has that potential to be like a hatred thing.
And you can tell the players
Which I
fucking meant it
love.
too. Like, you saw what Katone did our fucking home.
Yeah.
And even, like, Broncos posting shit afterwards, like, about the trip back to Redcliffe and that. Like, they're getting around it and it's fucking good.
Yeah, I like
Well, I
it.
think because we've only ever had like a couple of sides in. Like before the Titans, obviously there was just the not many Queensland teams, so you're sort of stuck together.
Yeah,
exactly.
But now that we're getting there's been two introduced now, Queensland sides, so now you sort of can have that rivalry against each other. Where before you're not gonna fucking gang up on each other.
No.
You know, you're outnumbered by all these dad kissing cunts.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
Yeah, I agree. That's fucking spot on.
Mm.
Yeah, hopefully. I do like the idea of it being a hatred rivalry, though.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I'm
I
all
really
for
like
it.
it. I'm loving it.
I don't want a
actually.
fucking friendly rivalry. I want to
Nah,
fucking.
I don't want to
hate
say,
each
oh,
other.
it's good to see them go well.
Yeah,
I want
the
them
first-
to come last every
Yeah,
year.
the first 3 games I was like, wow, this is awesome footy. Dolphins, good on them. And then bang, last week I was like, fuck these cunts.
Well, I was just going to say, so it should be good on the couch here because I'm like, I sort of need a Queensland team to get behind.
Are you going to get up behind the Bronx?
Nah, fuck that.
He's lost 2 games and he's already fucking.
He's trying to jump to the Brisbane Broncos.
Nah, I'm just saying, at Origin time, it is a very confusing time for me because the whole fucking Panthers side is absolutely stacked full of New South Wales. And I'm like, it's a bit of a hard thing. And same with like going to live games in Queensland and shit like that. Like, Panthers are my team, but I mean, it's good to see another Queensland team to come in so you can go, oh, well, I'll fucking support the boys a bit as well,
Become your second team, I guess.
Yeah, that's, I suppose, yeah.
Well, you've already worn the Bronx jersey, so yeah. Makes sense.
But he
too.
has wore a Dolphins jersey too.
Yeah.
We know which one looked better, but.
Yeah. How good was the photo of you next to the People's Immortals?
Oh, how good.
Yeah, I had to get that. I was like, hey, Bruce, take a photo of this cut.
That was
fucking
good.
oath.
Just brought him into the side.
Don't know if he knows yet.
Yeah.
That was after he signed at
Yeah.
the pub there.
He's still coaching at fucking where is it?
Brendan's.
Brendan's.
Yeah.
Quick AFL wrap. The Hawks were smashed again this week by Sydney. That's 2 in a row. Don't really mind this one because Sydney are a good side, but we got hammered by Essendon last week, who are not a good side. So big trouble there looking at the spoon already. But the defending premiers, Geelong, Jace's side, have also gone 0-2 to start the year. And not many teams have defended the premiership 0-2, I'll say that. So that's great news for Hawthorn fans.
In
because-
saying that, it was a fucking cracker. I'm going to blame it on the injuries in our back line for that. No, Tom Stewart is a massive loss, but it was basically Carlton versus Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, we would have lost by 30.
Real shame it was.
Yeah.
On Carlton, the Baggers, it's good to see that they haven't gone to shit after what happened at the end of last year.
I like seeing Carlton play good. I'll give them that.
For some reason, so do I.
It just annoys
it's
me
good.
that it was against Geelong.
It's exciting for them as a club because they have
Definitely.
been terrible for so long.
So
and
long.
now they've got such a good list.
Fucking oath.
What do you reckon, Tom?
Oh, I was just going to say how my boys going, how the Crows going.
Yeah, I can't
They
say.
lost again to Richmond. They lost to Richmond, I'm pretty sure.
Did
At home.
Do they have anything in the
Saturday.
crowd where every Crows fan just goes, ah, because they
No.
should. Imagine the whole crowd just going, ah. Like, that should definitely be a thing if it's not.
You should email the CEO
Yeah.
about that.
No, I'll
I'm
do
sure
that.
you've got
I'll just
your
come
email
up with
address.
That would
fucking
just
awesome
weird
ideas
the
as a
opposing
job.
team out.
Yeah. So,
We touched on it quickly at the start, but we won the ODI series in India 2-1, which
Yeah.
is
that's good.
huge because we got thumped in the first one. Good for our confidence heading into the ODI World Cup at the end of the year.
And when number
It's
one.
in India. The
Yeah.
ODI World Cup's in India.
Oh, it is?
We've beaten India twice, who'll be, obviously, they're going to be favourites.
Yeah.
Them and Pakistan and Sri Lanka will be up there.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's just good to see Mitch Marsh, Travis Head, and then Adam
Travis.
Zampa spun us to victory in that last
Yeah,
one. So
Beautiful.
it's just perfect, I think. Great way to end the Indian tour.
Fucking
Yep.
oath.
Now, tips this week. Let's
Yes.
put them in.
All right, so this week's games, we got on Thursday night at Allianz Stadium, we got Roosters versus the Eels, boys. What are we thinking?
I'm going Roosters. I think it was a tough one because Para coming off obviously a big win against Penrith. Bit of confidence, but I don't know. Roosters got that win over Bunnies, had a week off to freshen up. I think they'll get it done. Very close game, but yeah, I'm going Roosters.
Yep, I'm also going Roosters. I think Eels have literally had a tough game every single fucking game.
Yeah, what is the go with their
Man,
start?
Seriously, and I just think it's got to wear them down after a while. Like full on intense games like that where they haven't been able to switch off once. I just think isn't really great for anything. So I reckon the Roosters off the
bye. I reckon it's such a hard game to tip.
It is.
Definitely.
Because the Roosters haven't played a good one yet.
To be honest, there's probably value in a bet for the Eels just a head-to-head win. But yeah,
I've gone the Chooks, so all three of us are going the Roosters. I just think surely they have to hit their straps soon.
Yeah.
You know, they've had
Yeah.
a week off on the training paddock. Hopefully they do. But yeah, it's such a hard first game on a Thursday.
Yep, I agree. So Friday night we got Raiders versus Penrith at GIO Stadium.
I think, yeah.
I was
Raiders-
very, very close to taking Canberra.
Fuck, I
with
wasn't.
it being down there.
I think they are shot this season.
Look, hasn't been great
Nah.
after they lost to Newcastle, who have no one.
I think Penrith will thump them. And
Righto.
it'd be good to see, because it's the first time that they're playing since the your week gutted dog incident with Ricky. So,
Oh, well, I don't
fucking-
know. I'm taking Penrith.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was just really close. With Ricky there, and you got the Whiten thing going on, and
Yeah, Whiten
they lost to
leaving.
Newcastle, who don't have a very good side.
Mm.
I just thought down there in Canberra, if it was a late game, I reckon I might have tipped them. But it's a 5 o'clock one, I think. So
Yeah,
I've gone
yeah, it is a
Penrith,
5.
but yeah, I was very close to taking Canberra.
Righto. So we got Rabbitohs versus the Storm at Accor Stadium. Accor or whatever it is.
That'll be a good one, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
huge.
think Bunnies should get over. Storm, like they finally got a win against Tigers, but I wouldn't say it was very convincing.
Me neither, man.
Still-
24-12 they beat them. Like,
Yeah, still a lot of injuries as well. Rabbitohs big win against Manly. I think they'll get them over them.
No, I'm with you, man. I think Rabbitohs have come into their own sort of thing and built nicely, and I feel like the Storm have to do something to prove to me that they can beat
Yeah.
another good side, you know. Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'm the same. I'm Rabbitohs.
Well, here's one for you. I've gone Melbourne.
Ooh.
I think big week for Souths with Johnny Sattler stuff.
Yep.
Hype of the game, the emotion. They had to get up for it. I just think too much. Melbourne found a bit of form last week. I've gone Melbourne.
Right out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair
Good
enough.
stuff. Saturday, we have Seagulls versus the Knights at Glen Willow Oval, wherever the fuck that is.
What? It's
Is
not
that
at 4 points?
No, that would be Central Coast, wouldn't it?
So that must be a Knights stadium because, yeah, 4 Pines is the brookie.
I thought this was at Brookie. Are
No,
you
I'm
sure?
pretty sure 4 Pines is the...
Four Pines is
Seag-
Brookvale.
Yeah.
And then whatever you
Are
just said,
you
I'm
sure
pretty sure
that's
that's
not a Manly home game? It is. Look.
Yeah,
it?
that'd be Central Coast Stadium. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right.
Don't-
Well, I've gone
quite-
Manly.
yeah.
I've written Manly at Brookvale. Knights
When
can't.
will
Knights
it-
aren't backing that up. I don't think.
I've
Imagine
gone
they've
Manly.
gone down to McDonald Jones there at Knights Stadium,
Yeah.
and they've turned one on for the fans, which was good to see.
Yeah.
But they're not backing that up.
Yeah, I'm back in Manly as well.
Me too.
Yeah. Hope
Alright.
I'm wrong because it's good to see Manly lose. But
Yeah,
I've gone,
that's right.
I've
Agree.
gone with the smart play.
So we've got 4:30 p.m. Dragons versus the Dolphins. Battle of our two wooden spooners that we said before the
Right.
season started.
Gropes is tipping the Dragons.
Oh, the red V.
Coming off of 40-6, was it?
40 to 8.
40 to 40
Just
to
correct
8.
you there.
I've tipped the Spooners. I just think the Dolphs are going to struggle now. They've tasted defeat to the might of Brisbane. They've been put in their place. I'm going the Drags, who are somehow favourites for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
how's that for
surprising to me
value?
as well.
I've gone I've gone the Dolphins. I reckon, if anything, in the first 4 rounds, they've shown that as a side, even without certain players or marquee players, they've got a really strong base there of lads who fucking show up. So,
I 100% agree.
so I reckon they'll just show up and edge a win out. But I'm with you, Groper. Like, I'm not like super confident in the Dolphins winning. I've just been impressed with their resilience over the
Yeah.
first 4 rounds. And
I think
yeah.
they showed it in the last game against Brisbane. They didn't have Jeremy Marshall-King start and Isaiah Katoa.
Felice.
Felice, and then Sean O'Sullivan goes out in the middle of the game. So did Cody Nikorima, and they still
And they had
almost-
Tessie New on one leg.
Yeah, and they almost fucking beat Brisbane. Like, I think I've tipped them to beat Dragons. I think
Yeah.
Dragons looked good the first few rounds, but they fucking choked against the Sharks.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
So,
Nico was on, though.
yeah, it's
We'll
just-
see. We'll
was
see.
on. We
I
will.
have just gone against you, Blokes. 2. Jesus.
Well, hey, if it's a sign of how I've been going, you're going to kill it.
I am 4th.
Um,
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. So next we have Broncos versus the Tigers at Suncorp at 6:35 p.m.
We'll just brush over this one.
Yeah, I
eh?
think we
definitely
all got Broncos.
No, so obviously we're all going
I'm
the
hitting the
Broncos here.
Bronx, yeah,
Tigers are
yeah.
absolute dog shit. to put it nicely, with all due respect. At 4:05 p.m, we have the Sharks versus the Warriors, boys. What are we thinking here?
I've
At
gone-
PointsBet Stadium.
Sharkies.
Yeah.
Fucking just touched on it, but wasn't Nico Hines good
Mate,
last week?
oh,
What a
no.
comeback game.
And you can't tell me that after that game, he's not going to have the confidence to be like, oh, yeah, let's fucking go.
And first game, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's only going to get fitter. He's only going to
Literally.
get more match fit.
Yep.
And I just think
He's missed those first 3 and he could still easily win Dally.
I honestly think, too, not just him as a player, I think the blokes around him see a bloke like that return, and it would fill them with confidence having Nico on the field,
Fucking
knowing
oath.
he is on, and all the rest of them. Like, there's blokes that just pick the whole team and up.
Boosts that
and
morale
I-
and
yeah.
gives you confidence.
And I
knowing
reckon
you
he's
got-
one of them. So I'm going 13 plus that game. Like,
Yeah.
I reckon the boys will show up.
Definitely
And-
Sharkies.
sticking with the bye next week theory.
Oh,
Sharkies have got the bye next week. So they go, hey, let's just go hard here. We've got 2 weeks off.
Yep,
So
good stuff.
Like it.
Righto, to finish off, lads, we have Bulldogs versus the Cowboys at Accor Stadium.
I actually think that was a hard one for me to pick. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like, Cowboys did beat Titans, but I don't think it was convincing enough.
Nah.
Like, AJ went off injured and
see how much
so did
footy
Vaughan.
they had?
Yeah, man.
Did you see how much ball they had in the first half? It was
I think
stupendous.
Cowboys, just quickly, last year I tipped Cowboys to get the wooden spoon and they ended up coming, second?
Yeah.
And I think this year, like, it's not like their team has changed much. They haven't, like, they've still got, like, on paper, like 2 years ago, you'd look at that team and go, what the fuck? But they proved everyone wrong last year. I think they will they'll get into the 8, but they're not going to be anywhere near as good, and they're showing it.
It's just
this
sort of like
year.
they're finding they're leveling out a little bit
Yeah.
with the rest of the teams, and they're just fucking sort of where they should be.
Exactly.
If you compare the people. But
They should be better than they are considering how they went last season. There wasn't a bunch of big losses or give them time to work together. They should be better than they are. And I
Yep.
think, yes. But I've tipped them. But
I was just about to say,
tipped them.
who are you tipping?
But it was still a close one. But yeah, I've gone Cows just.
Yep.
Have you
gone,
too?
Yeah, I've gone
Fuck me,
Cowboys
Dad.
as
One
well.
of us is going to go well. I've gone the Dogs.
Yeah,
At a
nice.
core, I really, really wish this was at Belmore, but it's at a core. The Cowboys haven't been convincing at all, as you just said, Jace.
Yep.
And we all know what their Sydney form is usually like.
Yeah.
That's been going on for 2 decades. How
Yeah.
they can't win in Sydney. So, look, I've just gone them, and I think the Dogs weren't that bad last week. They had to go to Mount Smart. Didn't get the job done, but yeah. I've
It's
gone the
hard.
Dogs.
It's hard to tip the Dogs still, even though I really think that they have potential to go really well this year. It's still hard to tip them for me. I haven't seen enough to be like, yep, they're definitely better.
Have you seen
I
enough
agree.
in North Queensland, though?
Well, the whole of last year though. Like, I mean, it's fucking, and they've still
Yeah.
got the same players. So it's hard to tip against them. But
Yeah.
it should be
think-
an interesting
yeah.
week. Either me and you are going to go well,
Yeah,
Jace, or Groper's going to
exactly
just
right.
Or we go the same, both
Yeah.
shit. Like, a couple of
Yeah.
wins, couple of losses, which is
Anyway.
sort of
I think Doggies will be a really hot and cold team. Like, they'll beat teams like they did Melbourne and they'll fucking knock a top 4 team off.
yeah,
the perch.
and that's what I think happens when you got new sides like
yeah,
that.
exactly
That
right.
have just come together. They'll gel one week, and then it'll be like, yeah.
Well, it'd be
really hot
hard
and cold.
it'd be hard to study a team like that for an opposing side as well, because like teams that have been together for ages, you can watch fucking multiple games on who does what lines they run,
Yeah.
what their plays are. But when you've got 4 games to
Certain
go off in a
coaching
whole new
styles as
team,
well.
you can't really analyse what they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
I agree, 100%.
It's it'd make it a bit harder.
yeah,
But,
for sure. There's the tips. Bit
Hey,
different.
yeah, that's right. A little
I
bit
love it.
different. I was just going to say before we move on from the footy, just a couple of the headlines I wanted to ask you about before we move on. What are your thoughts on old Suwali signing with the Wallabies?
Oh,
So
yeah,
I think he's got
well-
1 more year left with the Roosters, and then he's going to do the World Cup thing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I reckon I don't blame him. I think it was inevitable. It was going to happen, getting paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it was pretty funny. I agree with what the Cheese come out and said. It's like paying 1.6 million for a winger isn't going to make you
Yeah.
beat the All Blacks.
Yeah,
That was good, but that's a crack at the Wallabies. That's
Yeah,
not a
I know.
Suwali thing.
No.
He probably doesn't care.
Mate,
Exactly.
You know?
The thing with that is like he'll go and do that, and then he'll 100% just come play NRL after the whole World Cup campaign.
You know what I
is
do?
done.
Yeah, do a Sunny Bill.
You know what I love is that he's going there next year, is it?
I think next year he's playing with the Roosters,
Yeah.
and then from
Okay.
2024 is his last year at Roosters.
It would have been good if he went next year because the Rugby World Cup is this year in the
Yeah.
UK. I think it's in France.
Oh, I
The
don't know. where it is.
2023 Rugby World Cup's in France this year. So if he went next year, that gives him a full 4-year campaign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
The fact that he's going a year later probably isn't, so bad. But it's
Yeah.
good that he's not going like in a World Cup year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's going, hey, pick me. It's the World Cup
Pick me
this
for
year.
my name.
yeah,
Yeah,
But I can
so-
tell you 100% because he is now playing. It's not like I'm going to go watch Union.
No.
Oh,
Which
It's-
is what
it's
I
weird.
think they're trying to it's Suwali's
Yeah.
playing. And this is what I wanted to talk about as well is Suwali, while I agree with everyone that the potential that bloke has, his physique, genetics, skill, it's all there. But I'm so sick of every motherfucker talking to him like he's done what Billy Slater has already or something. Like
Yeah,
the amount of fucking hype he gets every time. And I'm like, what has he actually done at an international level yet? What's he done at State of Origin yet? Fuck all.
Yeah.
So,
Ran
yeah, I 100% you can talk to him about potential, but I'm sick of him getting hyped up to be one of the best fucking things ever. And it's like, well, he hasn't done it yet.
exactly
though.
right.
Mate, he ran over a couple of schoolboys
Yeah.
back.
And
He's
like-
fucking he's
You
good,
know what I mean?
but like
Yeah.
you're paying when you think about in terms of rugby, they've obviously got more money in that sport.
Yeah.
1.6 million for a winger. Are there any wingers in the NRL getting paid over fucking 800,000?
No.
No.
Yeah, like
I
that's a lot of money for a fucking
Yeah,
winger.
and like I reckon good on him for what he's doing. Fucking
take the
go,
money.
take the
Fucking
coin.
oath.
But yeah, it just shits. And it's not Suwali's fault either.
No.
It's all everyone hyping him up. So like I got nothing against that bloke. I think good on him. But yeah, I was just always sick of fucking, hearing everyone just carrying on. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking.
That's
let-
sort of what I was meaning by when you said, oh, it's not going to help us beat the All Blacks. That's like a Rugby Australia issue. That's not
Yeah.
a Suwali issue.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. I
Right.
agree
Fucking,
with you.
I'm taking
100%.
the 1.6. Thank you.
Yeah, I
But
would too.
do you think they're going to lure anyone else over? Like the Cameron Murrays of the world,
Yeah.
where that's different. Like that is a
Yeah.
tried and tested, unreal rugby league
Yeah.
fucking
There
top
was
level lock.
Such a long debate there with Ponga as well. When's he going to go to rugby? When's he going to rugby?
Well, he
And
wanted to
that's-
play for the All Blacks, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And that's obviously fucking. Who knows what's going on?
Well,
with
it's
his
probably the
concussions
best
and
thing
that,
to
so-
put him at fullback so he can just kick it when they're coming towards him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, in Ponga's situation, playing for the All Blacks is a lot bigger than playing for the Wallabies.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
man,
20
if you
years
could
ago-
play, if you could play for the fucking All Blacks,
Yeah,
like,
that's like
that is huge.
Yeah.
Just because of what they've done. And they haven't built what they have by paying a winger 1.6.
Exactly. Yeah, I reckon
You know
that's
what
what
I mean?
like, if Rugby
Yeah.
Australia wants to fucking actually compete, win Bledisloe Cups, win World Cups, paying 1.6 million for a wing is not going to do it. I agree. Like
Yeah.
grassroots rugby, they need
Yeah.
to work on that for
I
sure.
tell you
who
what-
knows too? It might be a thing where, do you know how like the Titans signed for Feeder? And then it was more a thing where they paid him overs, but it's more getting that name. I
Yeah.
wonder if
Yeah.
like,
Oh, 100%.
that's
That's what they do. Remember when Folau and Carmichael Hunt went to fucking AFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
As marquees? Like, what the fuck was that about?
yeah.
I don't know.
Carmichael
Yeah, no,
known for getting the ball and running it straight. yeah, actually, let's go him. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But anyway, that was one thing. The other thing I wanted to say is, the Eels looking at signing an X Factor fullback.
Yeah.
And Gutho reckons he's all good with it. And I don't know. I find it a bit weird. Like, I reckon you should just look at an X Factor in a different position for
I
the
wonder
Eels.
if they've gone, we can't have this cunt with his hair cut like that.
This is a wake up call, Gutho.
Yeah.
Bit of cut.
We can't have it.
Yeah.
I think I know what they mean with the whole like you shift him to centre and get another fullback, but just look at getting a centre. Like he is probably their marquee player outside of Moses and Dylan Brown.
The Eels are very known for that, though, as in they don't go crazy with their spends on certain blokes. They just have a good field the whole way around. And I think
Yeah.
that's why they always make it to, like, top 4 level, but don't have that fucking weapon to finish off the big plays and shit.
Yeah.
Like, look at the Eels. They're really good across the board, but where's their, like, fucking Munster or
Yeah.
Cleary
Yeah.
or fucking Tedesco?
Yeah.
I think they got two of the best young halves,
Yeah.
but like
that was good for him that he signed. actually, because there was a bit
Yeah.
of fucking hype
He
building
was-
up about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They got, I think, but Penasini and Wanga Blake aren't even like fucking shit.
Wanga
Like,
Blake is shit.
I don't think they're that bad.
I think he is the terrible player.
Oh, they're replaceable for sure, but fucking, I don't think he's that bad.
I don't think I've seen him play a good one ever.
Well, I watched him on the wing that time, and that was painful. Not that I could do any better, but he ate popcorn before that game. One thing quickly, I'm fucking holding the show up here, but the Dally M. I just wanted to say, it wasn't this week because it's changed, but the week before I looked at the leaderboard for the Dally M and noticed that a winger was in the lead. Now, if you have a fucking system where a winger could ever be in the lead of the whole competition as its best player, fuck off. Because a winger will never be the best player in a competition.
I agree, 100%.
No
Yeah.
fucking way.
They're a finisher, aren't they?
Like, the winger has their spot, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy giving them shit. And but I just feel like they can never be the best player in the team. They can be great, but you can't tell me the half or the hooker or the 5'8" or someone steering the ship isn't
Yeah,
more important than
exactly
the winger.
right.
Yeah.
Can't tell me a winger is best and fairest in the whole comp. Fuck me.
Fuck.
There's a
Right.
reason that no wingers ever won it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, that was my few things, boys. I just wanted to get your thoughts on.
Yeah. It's good to see Gutho's chop getting another run.
Yeah.
Because it is
Mate,
fucking
he's
shit.
going to be getting multiple runs until it looks either shit
Yeah.
or it's gone.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, look, if you want to be the X Factor, cut your fucking lid. Righto. Boys, it's time for our squeeze of the week, brought to you by the Standard Squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
A must-have item for every Reggie during footy season, I reckon. Measured nips in a plastic bottle that won't break easily is a no-brainer for me. And look, if you're a real hard prick that needs more than a standard nip, buy the XL bottle because it's got a double shot measured already. And if you're a really, really hard cunt, then just buy the big shot, baby. 100 ml shot measured for you. You can also get one of these Ripper snapbacks that me and the boys have got on.
Me and the boys.
T-shirts, hoodies, replacement lids, because you can imagine you're on the piss.
Oh, yeah.
You're losing those.
You'd lose that fucking easily.
You can buy a replacement lid. Boys have really thought of everything. So go jump on their website, thestandardsqueeze.com, and use the code Reggie15 for 15% off at checkout. Or jump on the Instagram at thestandardsqueeze and check them out.
You're almost
So-
losing if you don't go and buy something and use that code.
Yeah.
Pull
I
your
think
head
you
in.
are. You're losing money if you don't buy one.
Well, exactly.
I reckon there's a couple red hot nominations this week. So, boys, who is the squeeze of the week brought to you by the Standard Squeeze?
Tommy, you can take this one.
Right, I've been itching. So, I was at the Dolphins fucking Bronx game in the box, watched Katoni Staggs steam away at the end and fucking lift Suncorp off the ground for a millisecond. Anyway, I went to the Caxton and I was invited upstairs with the players and that. And I've never been one to like, ooh, the players, and like go up and say g'day to them because I know they don't give a fuck about me. So I'm like, I'm not, whatever. Like, good on them. But anyway, all the players were there up the bar at the Caxton. I was like, sweet, the boys are celebrating a win. I was sort of on my way getting pissed, but watching at the corporate box, I'm more invested in the game than getting blind. So I was a bit sober around a bunch of drunk people. So anyway, went and lined up at the bar and noticed here's Katoni Staggs sitting next to me. And I was like, oh, might say something. He's standing right there. I'm like, Katoni, Russ, that was an unreal try at the end there, bro. Good shit. And dead set, his fucking head didn't even move to acknowledge that I even spoke or acknowledge that I was there. And I just thought, you fuckhead. So
Just the cold shoulder.
So, squeeze of the week for me, Katoni Staggs.
Yeah.
And, like, you got to remember, brother, that unless you're elite level or you can talk, which I've never heard you do, you're probably going to be doing an everyday Joe job in about 10 years' time. So, don't be such an arrogant cunt. That's my squeeze of the week. But
Nothing's beaten that, but I reckon there's an honourable mention.
Yeah, I've got an honourable
coming-
mention.
coming from
actually, I
James.
reckon this one might. This is
I got,
could.
it's sticking on the topic of NRL players. I was out in Brizzy on Saturday night, and
This cunt gets around, by the way. Oh, Jace, he's always in Brizzy.
anyway, so on the dance floor, and I was out with a few mates, and just fucking
fist
bumping the air. And I was out with a few mates and my brother, and I see my brother standing there with Branko Lee, chatting away to him, and he must have a thing for fucking ripping people's hats and shit, because he's standing there with my brother's hat on backwards, and they're chin wagging away, and I come over, and my brother goes, "Oh, Branko, this is my brother Jace." I was like, "Oh, g'day, mate." Shook his hand, said hello, and the cunt just grabs my hat and just catapults it onto the dance floor. So I went, "Oh, right, cheers, Branko." And I was like, "Righto." And then, he walked off, and he had me crawling around fucking the dance floor trying to find me hat. It was so demoralising, I'll fucking tell you.
So hang on. I thought you were talking to him.
Yeah, I walked up, and my brother was talking to him, said
So
hello.
you've literally walked up, said
Within
hello,
seconds.
and he's just launched your hat.
Did he
Yeah.
say anything to you?
No, he said g'day, shook my hand, and then was just, boss, and threw it.
That might fucking get it.
It was
That
the worst.
easily.
That's getting it.
I would struggle not to just go,
Yeah.
like just a
Imagine
small
if you give
jab.
him a shine.
Bro.
Branko's out with HIA concussion next week because you've given him a
Yeah.
shiner.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
just a couple
Should I
A
say,
graders.
listen here, Branko, I'm about to call you an independent doctor, cunt, because you're in trouble.
So
But seriously, that is fucked that he just threw it. Like,
Yeah.
what you just would have been going.
I literally just went, "Oh, okay." I was like, just stood there and just, if that wasn't demoralising enough, crawling around through the dance floor trying to, I gave up. I went, "Fuck this. I don't like the hat
So
that
hang
much."
hang on. Are centres the new wingers?
Oh,
Because that
yeah,
was
those are
two
two both
centres,
centres.
and they're becoming less useful than the winger is. Like the winger's starting to really get involved, and the centre does fuck all.
I agree, man. Centers do nothing.
Yeah.
I think you just need to be a defensive centre these days. You don't need to have any flair or anything about you. You just need to be able to tackle one-on-one.
Yeah, I agree.
That's pissed me off.
Yeah, I was blind drunk, so it didn't really faze me much.
So yeah.
See, Katoni's a dad kisser, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
You know, hidden in Queensland, just fucking,
Branko has played Origin somehow.
yeah.
That
In the worst
Barfridge-
Queensland team of all time.
And here comes a young red coming up to him, ready to just shake his hand, and he just dogs him. That's easily my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
All right,
fuck you,
Branko, squares of the week.
Unlucky Brank.
Pull your head in.
You lose. Righto, boys. Let's move on to. I wasn't looking forward to talking about this. We're going to move into the punt.
Yeah, we should definitely move into
Last
the punt.
week's effort was less than ideal.
Oh,
to put it, buddy,
lightly.
lightly.
That's right.
Nonconformist went so shit in the Australia Cup. That was my tip there. Keto's $51 shot actually got so unlucky. If you watch the replay, the gap that Cascadian takes and ends up winning, taking that gap, was there for El Patronus, but he just couldn't shuffle his way over.
Yeah.
I owe Keto a box too because he El Patronus beat Nonconformist. And it hit the line really hard, so I've actually got that black booked for next time it runs. It might not have won because Cascadian was unreal, but anyway, we need to lift.
Fucking oath, we need a lift.
We need to lift, and I'm just going to tell you a little Reggie story before we
Ooh.
move into this. I went shithouse on Saturday on the punt. I sat down on the couch, and I was up, down, and then eventually down all day. I had $20 in my account. And I said, fuck this, I'll watch a movie with the missus.
Yep.
Halfway through that, I was bored, so I jumped back on the bloody blue bet and went, righto, 3 favourites, 2 dogs and a trot. Three-leg multi.
Holy shit.
3-leg multi, 3 in a row, 2 dogs and a trot, and it got up.
Really?
It paid $8 and I had or 8 something because I ended up getting about 170 something.
Yeah.
And it literally got me almost all the way back to even. And I just went, so I studied the form the day before, watched 2 or 3 form analysis shows, which I love doing, lose all my money and then get it all back on a 2 dog and a trot multi.
If that isn't
That's
the
unreal.
Reggiest
That I
bet.
picked in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Trots.
it just shows how fucked punting is.
Oh, yeah. You
Punt's
can do
fucked.
all the research you want and
Oh, man.
fucking
Yeah.
hell.
That is
Anyway.
a great bet though. That's one of my favourite bets I've heard.
Two dogs and
Especially
a
the
trot.
story,
Yeah.
just the story of 2 dogs and a trot.
The Reggie multi.
Surely we're going to have to
You could
turn
make
that.
it. You could put that in a book.
We're going to have to turn that into a
Fucking
shirt
hell.
or something.
2 dogs and a
Yeah.
trot.
2 dogs and a trot.
How'd you go this weekend, mate? Yeah, 2 dogs and a trot, bruh.
Oh,
Put me out of
man.
trouble.
You can do that any night of the week as well.
Boys,
100%.
I got a surprise for you.
Oh, I love surprises.
I got a big surprise for you.
Hit us with it.
A man named Tom Barbary, Barbz we call him. He's actually a big fan of the show and he's a horse trainer.
Ooh.
Now, he heard us talking about, you asked me last week, you said, how many runs does a horse need before you go, I'm not backing it anymore?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
first up, second up, third up. He's messaged us in because he's just a great bloke and he said, give us a bell.
Nice.
So we're about to.
Oh, really?
We're about to give him a bell. I've
Oh,
teed him up
awesome.
and I thought I'd surprise you on the show to give him a
Fucking
bell.
yeah, right.
awesome.
So what's going to happen is we're going to give him a bell and we're going to ask him some hard-hitting questions about horse training.
Fuck yeah. Sounds good.
He's just he's gonna answer.
Boys,
Barbz, sorry, Bus, we just
Did
had
we-
a few technical issues.
did we get a few things sorted there, Groper, or what's going on
we
here?
did. We did, yeah. Quinn's still got a job. So.
Yes.
Hey, oi, thanks for taking the time out to have a yarn to us, mate.
Not a problem, lads, not a problem. Big fan of the show.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Just
Not a problem.
I know you wrote into me and you said sort of your history with what you've had involved in horse racing, but just sort of tell the listeners, your
Yeah,
affiliation
so-
with horse racing and that.
Basically, like, I grew up in it. I never had a chance. Like, my first day of the races, I was 3 days old in the pram. Grandpa trained for about 40 years, and Dad and my uncles have all worked in it, sort of on and off. One uncle's sort of been, that's all he's ever done. He's just given it away now. He's got a new missus and they're married, and he's didn't fit the bill, so I think he's driving trucks or some shit now. But yeah, our whole family's been in it for years, and I got to 17 and thought, what am I going to do with my life? And that particular uncle was at Caulfield riding track work for Anthony Cummings, and I thought, I'll go down there and have a crack at that. And I'm from the northwest corner of Victoria, right there up there on the Murray River, and so it's a big thing. 17-year-old kid moving 700 k's from home, and it's probably a bit wet between the ears, and copped a few smacks on the end of the beak from a few things I said to the wrong blokes. Went home with my tail between my legs, but I went back down at 18. I worked for, at the time, Peter Moody was the leading trainer in Victoria and probably the country at the time. We had horses in that stable like Typhoon Tracy, Black Caviar, Headway. There was in the first 8 boxes, I think there was 6 individual Group 1 winners or something there. So it was, from like I say, wet between the ears kid from the bush going into the bright lights of Melbourne, seeing those sorts of horses. They're sorts of horses you dream of, So
Yeah, 100%.
That's unreal.
It's unreal that you've sort of had a little bit of an affiliation with Black Caviar.
Yeah.
I didn't do a hell of a lot with it, boys. My uncle actually rode at track work from the start of her career up until her 10th start, which was the Newmarket win, and then he sort of succumbed to the pressure and said stuff this, I don't want to be on this mare's back when she breaks, sort of thing, which she used to do it all the time. The good ones like that, they hurt themselves all the time because they just try so fucking hard. And I think I got to lead her around for Channel 9 and Channel 7 there at one point, and as a pup, and getting messages off the boys that I'd like to see you on the news, bro. That's fucking brilliant. Proper Reggie behaviour.
Yeah, well, so you wrote in because you noticed that we were sort of not real sure on how many starts a horse will have before you want to stop backing it, sort of thing. So if you could just give us like a minute or two, real brief explanation on what it takes to get a horse from being out in the paddock and not having been doing any work all the way up until, let's say, 3rd or 4th start.
Yeah, right. So
If you can summarise that.
Yeah. Well, in this day and age, boys, it's like the technology's come so far, and there's a lot of different options now. A lot of trainers will have their horses pre-trained by someone else. So they might go somewhere to be pre-trained on, say, a water walker, which is basically like a walker machine in the ground, and they walk through water. They go a certain amount of minutes one way, and then they turn them around and they spin them back against it. They walk back against the current the other way, and that just that builds their muscles up and builds their cardiovascular fitness without the weight being on their back. So they might do that for 6 weeks, or they might just go to another trainer for 6 weeks and just get worked under saddle. They come into the stable sort of ready to go to the trials they sort of start trialing in about 8 weeks. And normally, in my experience, we always give ours 2 trials. And then they're sort of racing within sort of 12 to 14 weeks, like if races suit and they draw decent gates and stuff like that. But, some horses you can only race 2 and 3 times in a prep. Other horses you can race 5 and 6 times in a prep. Look at Punting. Punting ran 4th or 5th in the All-Star Mile the other week, and he's been up since Christ played halfback for Jerusalem. I think he had a break I think the last time he had a break with it, but I think I was in nappies. Like, it's been up for about 14 months. Like,
yeah, righto.
There's certain horses that just got so much longevity, and that's all. That, don't get me wrong, that comes down to their constitution, but at the same time, it's the way they're managed as well.
Yeah,
so some horses thrive on racing. Some horses will thrive on racing, and other horses they just can't cop it.
Yep.
So.
And that'd all
Some
just
horses
come
race
down
better
to
fresh.
They come down to yourself and everyone who works around it. You just got to know, don't you? You sort of got to have
the bloke, obviously you got to have the experience, but it's a big team effort. Like a trainer just doesn't train horses himself. A lot of trainers, a lot of smaller trainers will ride their own work if they can ride. A lot of ex-jockeys that get out, they got too heavy or whatever, they might get a trainer's ticket, and then all of a sudden they're still riding track work. Because they don't have to pay anyone to do it, and B, you just get more of a feel for it. But you've got to, it's a big team effort. You've got to listen to the people around you. You've got to surround yourself with good staff and good people. And it's a lot of people involved getting a horse from out of a paddock or from, a yearling sale through to the races. It's massive. And the amount of money involved in the industry, especially now, is just absolutely ridiculous. With the prize money on offer, they're paying record prices at yearling sales, and if you haven't got $500,000 today is probably a cheap horse. Realistically, at the upper end of the scale, he's probably a cheap horse.
Now, mate, you mentioned like the yearling sales, and you just said then $500,000 for like a top horse. How often do you get an absolute shitter? Just like, you and not a shitter, but we're talking maybe a 50, 60 grand horse that you might get away with. How often do you get one of them just fucking steaming up the straight, taking on some of these horses? Or is that a fucking rarity nowadays?
Well, like the best story in racing for mine in Australia is Takeover Target. Like Joe Janiak bought him out of a dispersal sale because he had bent legs and it cost him $1,100. He won $6.5 million.
Fucking Forrest Gump.
He won, yeah, exactly. Like Lieutenant Dan was real heavy on the train. But like he dead set, mate. He went to Royal Ascot. He went to Singapore. He won in Japan. He was just an absolute phenomenon and won all over Australia. Won $6.5 million. I think he won 14 odd Group 1s or something. Like they're the best stories. But realistically, nowadays, you don't see. I don't think I've seen a lot in that upper echelon of group level that aren't 150 to sort of that upper end of the scale. Like Black Caviar, realistically, she was a cheap horse. Peter Moody paid $225 grand for her.
Yeah,
that in that spectrum, she's a cheap horse. A mate of mine 2 years ago paid $12,000 for a filly at the sales in March at the Gold Coast, and she's won 2 Saturday races. It's collecting nearly 150 grand. So you don't. There's no rule to it. There's no exact science to it, and every horse is an individual, boys. There's so many fucking things that can go wrong. There's so many things that can go right.
Yeah.
There's
a
lot of fucking sleepless nights. A lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I bet. All right. Oi, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing that.
Yeah, cheers,
now,
man.
I just want to know, have you got a tip for us?
Yeah.
Possibly a Barb's best.
Barb's is best.
Depends how you go. Might be a new segment.
I'll put you on the spot, but yeah.
No, I have done a little bit of form in between the hectic day-to-day at Eagle Farm races. And I caught the Reggie bug. I couldn't have picked a harder fucking race, boys. I'm going to the Doncaster handicap at Royal Randwick.
I just said there's no way I'm going there because it's fucking.
Fuck me, Dad. But Tommy's had the all in on it. Tommy refused to have the all in on a Group 1. Groper never even put it into the Group 1, and he had, into the all in, and Ian Secret's come out and trounced him the other week.
Yeah.
Back yourselves, boys.
That's a sore point here. But
But no, my best bet of the day, race 8, number 2 at Royal Randwick, Mr. Brightside. I'm telling you,
Ooh.
I like Mr. Brightside.
he's looking to join a pretty exclusive club here, boys. There's not too many horses that won 2 Doncasters, like Superimpose 1-2, Sunline 1-2, like, and I don't know if he's that good. Like, I don't think he's as good as those two, but he goes up 5.5 kilos on his last year's win. And there's probably not a horse in the country with better form at the trip, in my humble opinion. He gets 2 kilos off Alligator Blood, and his last start in the All-Star Mile was ultra impressive.
Massive, yeah.
He's 5 from 8. He's 5 from 8 on a soft deck. He's 1 from 2 on a heavy going, and the forecast in Sydney this week's going to be wetter than a spastic's chin. So I'd say he's probably going to get the conditions to suit. Barrier 2, Zach Burton in the saddle. I think he proved pretty hard to beat. But there is one down in the weights that I'm a little bit worried about that might be worth a middle each way ticket. Kerry Parker trains a mare called Hope in Your Heart. She's drawn pretty wide, but I did hear Kerry say on Thoroughbred Central on Sky Channel the other day that he'd rather be there in 23 than in 3 with her. She's a proper free rolling horse, just doesn't like horses around her.
Yep.
She's got 50.5 kilos on her back, so she drops fucking 5.5 from last start. Perfect record track and trip. She's 1 from 1 at the mile at Randwick, and she'll be in it for a long way at $26 and $7.50 the drum. I think she's worth a little each way ticket as a little backup contingency plan.
All right, do you want to pick any more in that race? Or
Oh, right, here we go.
nah, that's
Here we
beautiful,
go.
mate. I'll
Awesome.
definitely have a bit of something on that.
All right, thanks
Absolutely.
fucking heaps, Barbz. That was awesome. Thanks heaps for your time,
Not a
mate.
problem,
And
boys.
yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
You better give us a shout if you're ever in Brizzy. We'll have to catch up, have a few frothies, and,
Bloody oath.
you know,
We
Sounds
will
good,
be.
Come down,
Absolutely.
come down and show you a little bit more in depth and come around the stables and show you
Yeah.
a little bit in depth of what actually goes on and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, fucking oath, bro.
Unreal. All right, mate.
boys, keep doing what you're doing. Don't give Queefton too many fucking dramas with the editing tonight. Fucking hell. I think I've had 4 phone calls off you today, Groper. Like, fuck me.
Now we know where Groper gets all these deadly bets from.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're not fucking deadly. The 2 I've tipped are going like busted ass. But anyway,
Yeah, I tipped them that one today too, and yeah.
she just reared up at the start and threw the race away. I couldn't fucking believe it. But anyway, that's racing.
That's right.
Good on
We
you,
won't
brother.
hold you to it. Good on you,
Cheers,
mate.
Barbz.
Talk to you.
No worries, boys. See you.
Ed, what do you reckon?
How good was that, mate? I
Fucking
was very
oath.
interested in hearing just about, like, just everything.
How much
Not-
fucking effort goes
Oh,
into that shit, man?
mate.
Yeah.
Like,
It'd be
we just
insane.
sit there on Blue Bet and go, oh, yep. But so much. Like, what did he say? He said about 14 weeks they're in work before they go to the races.
And he's talking
Yeah.
about the water thing, how they go against
Yeah,
it to
that
build
was
the
really
muscles.
interesting.
I suppose that's a pretty smart way of them doing it, probably like a low impact way, maybe
Yeah.
to build the muscles and shit.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I had a mate who owned a horse. He was a colt,
Mm.
and he still had his nuts. So he was in that water situation where he's
Yep.
walking around, and some fillies walked past, and he's got all excited in the thing and ended up doing some damage and never got to the races once.
Oh, true.
What?
I was
Spewing.
like, what are the odds of that? He's just got all reared up. Because there was a couple of fillies
Got
around.
a fat and got it stuck in the fucking ground.
Oh, so anyway, I hope you like that. That was a bit of a surprise for you. Just
Yeah,
because
that
on the
was-
back of last week where we were a bit unsure of, what goes on. But
Yeah,
like
I think that was.
I
that was
tried to
great.
say was, you just don't know with a horse. Like some of them, fresh horse, they love it.
Yeah.
Some of them want to be
Yeah,
up
so
and
it
up.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there you go.
And
That's good.
longevity's a
because
big
I got to
thing
admit,
too.
I do look at that thing with if there's no X there and there's about 6 starts and
Yeah.
nothing in between it. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But oh,
One positive of last week was the all-in.
Yeah.
Fucking what you need was elite. Never looked like losing. It's now 3 from 3 and 2 from 2 down the straight. Looks
Great
fucking
run.
good. And we're building because the first horse, that's the first one that's actually won the race for the all-in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we went to place, but, it actually won the race. So we are building.
Really setting me up not to build more because
So for those just joining us, we go all in each week. We started with 500. We got to 800, had a little mishap, but we loaded another 500 in. We're back to 8, and I've got a little deja vu because it's back to Tom with $800. However, something's changed this time in. The all-in segment is now brought to you by Bluebet,
it sure is.
our official wagering partner of the Reggies. So we'll post the all-in slip, and there'll be a link direct to the market.
That's right.
On
Chuck a
Bluebet.
link up.
And I had a bit of a thought. If the viewers want to get involved, it's so easy for them because we started with 500, and the aim's to get 10 weeks, right? We want to get to 10 weeks, and we can pull the money. You got 10 mates, throw 50 in each. There's your 500, and all 10 of you get a pick over the 10 weeks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you don't have to follow us in. You can go whatever you want. But, that was just a little thought I
And it's
had.
great fun as well.
Oh,
How excited and pumped up
How
do we
good is
get
it?
every Saturday coming for the all in? Like,
Yeah.
fucking. I
And
love
you're
it.
looking at a horse going, this is fucking should win. But
Yeah.
you're still, your heart's
You want,
pumping.
you want to chuck the old kitty on the win.
Anyway, it's over to you, Tommy. Here's this week's all-in bet brought to you by Bluebet.
Yeah, so as you all know, I shat the bed last time I did this, so I'm looking at not doing the same thing. Righto, getting straight to it. We're going to Randwick, race 6, horse 1, cylinder. So now Jace has been all over this thing like pubes on soap, and his favourite small bloke is aboard J-Mac.
Love it.
So
Love it.
pretty much, I like this thing because it's not like I've studied every single race, but I've personally watched Cylinder run now for the last sort of few weeks, and I just think it's going really well. Look, it hasn't shit the bed yet, or it hasn't let anyone down yet with 5 career starts, 2 wins and 3 seconds. Yeah, it hasn't done much wrong. He's drawn barrier 4 and is up 200 metres from what he's ridden before at 1,400. But that shouldn't be an issue here. So we're going cylinder to place, paying $1.25 roundabouts on Bluebet. All of it on it. And can I redeem my filthy punting of late? We will see.
I like it. I do like
yeah,
it. Like
I've
you
great
said,
feeling.
Cylinders never let anyone down.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Run that second in that huge race the other week.
It's had
I
a good
suppose
autumn.
that's the having a look at them. There's a couple there that look good too, but if you really think it's got a good sniff at winning, you go that place just to give yourself a couple up the sleeve.
That's right.
Yeah, a good barrier sort of helps as well. Hopefully not to
Yeah.
get a rank start.
Yeah.
But
No, I like it. It's never letting anyone down. It's never run worse than second. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's a great bet.
Yeah.
Well done, Tommy.
Thanks, mate.
Righto.
There it goes.
Another segment brought to you by Bluebet this week is the Old Boys segment.
Yeah.
We give our 3 fathers $40 to spend in their Bluebet accounts each week. Hasn't gone great for them, let's be honest. Rocket's horse last week looked like a fucking great bet, and it literally broke down the straight, and it barely finished.
Yeah. Is that thing still alive?
I think so, yeah.
And has it-
That can happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like fucking Barbz was just saying, mate, you do not know.
Yeah.
It's an animal.
Yeah,
and it can do
literally.
whatever it wants. Imagine waking up crook as one morning and you're getting shuffled along with the
Not being able to talk. Boys, I'm fucked. No.
You know? So anyway, Keto was unlucky, as I mentioned, but back in a 50-1 roughie might not be the way to go.
Yeah.
The boys need a lift. Let's see what the Old Boys have for us this week, thanks to the Bluebet Old Boys segment.
Come on, boys.
Reginald's. No post-mortem from last week. Just watch the replay. I did get $91.24 a place, but as usual, the bookies got the coin. But I will tell you, black book this horse, El Patronus. Mark my words. Can I quickly shout out to Bluebet for coming on board with the Reggies, sponsoring both the all-in bet, Tommy will fuck that, and the Old Boys segment, which I'm fucking for everyone. But anyway, Tito's Collectors this week is going to try the footy. Right? So I got it right with my picks last week. So what we're going to do this week, we're going to go the first 6 games of the round. I think we're round 5. And we're going to go all the home teams, okay? Roosters, Raiders, Rabbits, Sea Eagles, Dragons, Broncos. Head to head. I think you get about $27, $29 if you boost the win. But I do believe the Raiders, they're the roughies. I do believe the Raiders can win this week. I haven't tipped them all week, and all year, I should say it. But this is the week. Uncle Bryn may be racing this week, and I'm here, and I haven't had a chance to have a look. Stick with the Bryn. Can I just go out and tell you something? Tony Pike, legendary New Zealand trainer, has requested Noel Callow, that's right, the King Callow, from the Gold Coast to attend the races at Awapuni this weekend in New Zealand. Race 5, number 9, Lording. That's right, race 5, number 9 at Awapuni, New Zealand. It'll probably race early in the morning, so get on. I'm going to have 30 a win on this. Now, this horse, he's asked Noel, come over, because he's setting it for the Hollandale and the Oaks in Brisbane in the Winter Carnival. 30 a win on that. Let's have $10 on the footy, the first 6. Roosters, Raiders, Rabbits, Seagulls, Dragons, Broncos at $27 to $29. 10 on that. I reckon Keto's Collectors is about to start its run. Thank you again, Bluebet. See you, Reginald's.
Beautiful
like that.
yarn as always.
Bro, how can you not back that Lording in Awapuni now?
Yeah.
He just told us that the trainer has requested a jockey to fly over to New Zealand to ride it. How do you fucking know that?
Well, I'll have a bit on it.
I will be too.
100%. I
Makes
will.
us 3.
I
On
can't
you,
believe-
Keto. I
what's
love
he-
his little stab drive-by at me there. That's well respected too, and it's deserved.
Oh, but then he just drove by himself.
Oh no! I think that was a great drive-by. Like I'm appreciating the drive-by. Yeah, well done.
That was good.
Yeah.
G'day, Reggies. Pedro here for his pick of the week. Well, no luck again with the NRL. Fuck, doing my head in that shit. Trying to give you a win. But
Me too, bro.
I'm going to stay away from it this week. I'm going to let it settle. Probably only 1 week, but I'm going to let it settle and we're going to go to the horses. Some big races this weekend. Unsure which one I was going to go with, but I'm going to settle on Randwick Race 7, the TJ Smith Stakes, 1,200 metre race. Some big horses. We've got Nature Strip, Private Eye, I Wish I Win, Giga Kit, fucking In Secret. It's just... And, yep, I'm going none of them. I'm getting on number 13, Passive Aggressive. It's paying $13. Jordan Charles is the jockey. It's I like this horse. It come off a 6-month break, had a good win over Eduardo by Bees Dick, but they trialled it, I think it was last week maybe, keep it fit, killed it again. I know this is a big race up against some big horses, but... yeah, barrier 6, Passive Aggressive, lads. Get on it. The TJ Smith Stakes. Cheers.
There we go. He's going against the
going-
big
yeah,
dog.
he's
I
said,
think he's
"Fuck the
just
favourites."
literally taken what I've written here and said it all. But
Yeah,
not
nice.
about that horse. Well done, Pedro. I like it.
Yeah, good stuff,
Going
mate.
to the big
shit.
races.
Hey boys, punters, Rockets Roughies raring to go. We're going this week, Randwick Race 2, Horse 2, Glint of Silver. It's a great gelding, he's in form. Paying $9.50 a win, $2.50 a place. I love a grey, jump on him, I think you'll do alright.
There you
Love
go.
it. I love a grey
Beautiful.
too.
Me too. It
Yeah.
is good when you see one and it happens to be a grey. Like I often, because I'm not a big studier like that, I often don't even know it's a grey because I'll just look quickly. I'm like, oh, what are we liking here? And I'll chuck it on, and then you see it's a grey, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like that.
Or if you see race 9, race 8 or 9, and you've backed something, and then you see him jump, and there's a grey, and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
What have I done?
The grey late in the day, it is
Yeah.
a thing, I reckon.
Fucking
Yeah.
oath.
Righto. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, boys.
Hopefully,
Cheers.
you boys can pull us out this week.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about Keto's first 6 home teams there, but hey, good on
Imagine
you
if it
for
comes
having a
off, though.
crack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he'll pull one off this year, and it'll be fucking
Yeah.
great.
I reckon
Fucking
this
oath.
fucking Lording might be a chance. Just having a look at it here.
Hopefully.
I'm going to have a bet. I'm going to the TJ as well.
Oh. He goes to big races.
I wanted
this
to
bloke.
go.
This bloke only goes to big races.
I thought I was going to have to go the Doncaster, but that is just too hard. 24 horses in it, not happening.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to back horse 3, Private Eye. I think its run in the Newmarket was really underrated. He was on the inside. They were fully spread across the track in the Newmarket. In Secret got the win down the middle, but down the middle and out wide was definitely the place to be. And Private Eye had to duck back to the inside and still ran on really well, I reckon. Look, as Pedro just mentioned, In Secret's in the race. Nature Stripped. I Wish I Win, Giga Kick. Maria Mia won last week. The race is stacked. Private's out of gate 2. He likes running that anti-clockwise in Sydney, Rose Hill and Randwick. Second up, Fitter. I reckon this is his time. $9, $2.90 a place. Back it each way, please, because would not be surprised if anything won this.
I like it.
There you go.
I don't know what the fuck I'll do for that race. There's so many fucking good horses. It's hard to pick.
I'll probably back 4 things. Like, on the day.
Either
Go
do
a random trifecta.
Yeah,
and
trifecta or a quaddy or something.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be having a trifecta with Private Eye and Passive Aggressive.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
They'll definitely be in there.
100%.
Righto. Jace.
I'm heading to Randwick as well, to the Australian Derby race 9, and I'm backing number 4, Pericles. Pericles, sorry.
Nice. That got up for the all-in for us.
That was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And as I've stated many times, I love to back J-Mac. And he'll be riding this going on Saturday. He's wearing the blue, trained by James Cummins, which I tend to favour a bit too. So
they are on fire too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great combo here. Like you said before, you backed it for the all-in and it ran beautifully, but just came second.
Yeah.
But I think, so prior to that, it won a Sandown. It likes the wet track as well. 4th up here, and I think it is primed and ready to go.
This is its grand final.
Yep, basically. It's paying $4.20 to win on Blue Bet, and as I always do, I'm going on the nose.
Straight on the nose.
Good
Sweet
stuff.
as. And these have been going really well for us. So, Tom, do you have a multi of the week?
I do. Now, look, there's one positive about how my punting has been going on this show. I fucking cannot get any worse. If one leg comes through, I've improved. And Bradley actually commented on last week's video of mine, didn't get a single one. Thanks for that, Bradley. Believe it or not, I was actually watching as well and did pick that up. Righto. Nico Hot Boy Hines is back and the fucking Sharks are on. I'm loving how that's all looking. So we are heading to Sharks vs Warriors on Sunday at 4:05 p.m. at PointsBet Stadium. I absolutely copped a flogging online by the bros after I said the Cowboys had beaten them and they didn't. So I'm looking for redemption. I reckon the Sharks will get up 13 plus here.
Wow.
At home. With Nico on fire, and there is a couple of blokes in the Sharks lineup that are absolute sluts for meat pies, and that is William Kennedy with his support game. I think he's always sniffing around there, loves a try, so chuck him anytime, and Ronaldo Mulatalo on the sting, chuck him in anytime as well. Now it's all about Nico. Everyone wants to root him, so we are throwing him in as well to sweeten up the deal. So that's Sharks 13 plus, Kennedy, Mulatalo, and Nico anytime, paying $12 with Blue Bet.
So,
I like that a lot.
when are we putting money on the Warriors, Chase?
We may as well.
Yeah.
He's literally just written them off again and said Sharks.
Oh, I
13.
need
This will
Right.
prove if Warriors get up again here, it'll prove just don't bet against the fucking.
Well, I'll hear
Bros.
from Bradley.
Yeah.
About it.
How's that? Was that all it said?
Didn't get a single one. I'm like, I was literally thinking,
Shit, I didn't realise.
Cheers, cunt. Believe it or not, I watched the game too.
Thanks, Bradley. If you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
realised.
cheers,
Mate.
Bradley. You fuckhead.
Did you reply?
No. I just thought I'd wait to spray him live. Been looking forward to that, actually.
He's in for a
But,
rude surprise coming
Wait,
tomorrow.
that's
so that's mine. That's
that is
me.
a great way, I think, to end this show.
Fucking oath.
Hey, that went a bit longer for you, but I think there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
We
Hopefully.
had, hopefully Barb's tip comes through because fucking.
Hopefully all of our tips come
Barb's
through.
best might be here to stay. Who knows?
That's right. I'm hoping that we just get something for him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We've never
yeah.
claimed to be deadly, but it is nice to see us help a couple of people
Yeah.
out, get a couple of
We
tips.
coached them into what you need, but, you know, short odds. We went
Exactly.
to
It's paying
place.
like $2.50.
It's not really,
Yeah.
is it? You know? So anyway, oi, there's
Yeah.
some good tips in there.
Fucking
Yeah, for
oath.
sure. Keep an
Righto.
eye out for the post that
Yeah.
we'll put up,
Post will
showing
be
us
up
our
tomorrow.
tips. And, yeah.
We love your support, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
See you later.